Okay, recording's live. I'll just cut this beginning part. Okay. Whew. Hey guys, what's going on? This is another Peeker's Advantage video. I got Mauisnake with me, and we're gonna be talking to you about fuck. Fuck. I forgot what it was gonna be. What was it?
And
Four.
we're just okay, okay. Do this, do this. Hey guys, this is Davey. Here with me is Mauisnake, and today we're gonna talk about the four teams that you guys should watch out for.
All right, this
Watch
is the
out
intro.
for.
We're leaving all this in. We're leaving. We're just gonna leave the
Okay.
whole thing in. All right, four teams to watch out for. I'm on the wrong tab, anyways. All right, that's the last team. So, all right, we're talking to four teams to watch out for, as Maui Snake just told you. So, we're gonna, we're gonna start this off with the first team, and this is I picked this team personally. I think that Hellraisers is super underrated going into this challenger stage. Not without reason, because they've had some pretty poor performances recently, especially on land. But on paper, this team is insane. They have Angel, Oscar, Lowell, Issa, and Nookie.
I mean, Oscar is just probably a top three opper at this tournament. The only people I could think topping him, Zaiwu, of course, maybe Woxic, who is his replacement on Mouseboard. So, other than that, or depends on the day, but Kenny Yes also could be in that conversation. But I
Yeah.
think he's firmly in the top four of this whole tournament. So yeah, great skill behind that guy.
Well, the other thing is Lowell is like so underrated because he had that like poor stint at Mouse Sports where he didn't do very well. And then because of that, he's like gone like super under the radar just as a player. But like he's really good. And if Issa can find his form, Nookie's really talented. Angel's a solid in-game leader. Like they have so much just in their lineup. Now we're just gonna look at some of their past matches, and this is why they're coming in so underrated. They lost 2-1 to Big in a bit best of three. That's not bad, but they also lost 16-8 to Forza. They lost 2-0 to Gamer Legion, and then they lost the Gamer Legion again, lost to Wendigo, lost to Forza. Like the last game they won is they beat Aristocracy 2-1, and then before that they beat Nordavin 16-8. Like they haven't come into this looking very well at all.
The thing is that I think with some time, Angel has shown that he's made some rosters that otherwise probably didn't have much business going deeper into the major. I mean, he's gotten them to like the playoffs before. He's gotten to legend status before. He's had stickers. I don't even know how many times at this point. He's always at the major. So this guy is definitely a person that's going to prep his team well and with the skill behind him. I think they're definitely a team to look out for despite their low HLTV rating.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now. Like I have their stats up on the screen for everybody. I know you can't see it right now, but in their last 29 maps, Oscar's the only one who's positive with plus 26. Issa's right behind him with a minus 17, 1.01 rating, and Angel has just this is like Zeus level stats. He's got a minus 144, and the next like close on the team is Nookie with minus 38. So he's really been struggling in their last however many games, but I still think coming into this major they're going to be super prepared. And even if they don't get out of the challenger stage, I personally think they will. But even if they don't, they're still going to play good CS, and it's going to be fun to watch either way.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can't sleep on an Oscar game ever.
Yeah,
Again.
exactly. All right, next team. Boom, Tai Lu. Alex, what do you got?
Tyloo are really interesting. They picked up Freeman, who is the best player on Vici Gaming, and I mean, he was a star on that team. He's been a little quieter now that he's gotten on Tyloo, and they didn't look that great at the Asia Minor. They destroyed every team, but they actually lost a BO3 to Greyhound in the finals. So they're still here. They're still at the major, or at least the challenger stage, but they're kind of questionable.
Yeah, I mean these guys have been like farming in the Asian scene like forever. Their map pool is super interesting because they don't play Nuke or Vertigo. They don't play it. Like I said, I have it up on the screen right now. But they've played Vertigo twice, they haven't won on it. They played Nuke once and they haven't won on it. Train 50% win rate, but then like their Dust 2 Mirage Overpass are all absolute killers, and their Inferno's real good too. Their win rate's 62% on it, which is still really good, obviously. But as far as the stats go, it's only their fourth best map, even though everybody knows that Tyloo can be just absolute killers on Inferno.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with not playing Nuke or Vertigo because the advancement and elimination games are all BO3s. So if a team can just pick
Hmm.
one of those two maps and just, I mean, Ty, we'll find out what Tyloo's permaban is because I'm pretty sure they didn't go over both of those maps, so we'll find out pretty soon. Did they work on Vertigo or did they work on Nuke? And I'm sure some teams are going to test them. It's going to be really hard for them to get out of this challenger stage because they're prepping these maps without much official practice yet. But uh, I don't know. BO1s, I think they can. I think they could even go, 2-0, maybe 2-1 or something like that. But then it's going to be a rough road to get out at that point.
Yeah, I think so too. Like it really just depends on if their players show up. They're just a huge question mark right now because B and Tet can always go off, somebody can always go off, and like you said, if Freeman comes into this on a heater, and he's the player that he was in Vici, then Tai Lu has like a serious chance of getting through this challenger stage. But there's also a world where I can see them not even getting through. Like you said, their map pool when it gets to the BO3s is going to be really tough, and all the advancement games are going to be BO3s, right? Unless am I wrong about that? I think that
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
right?
All the advancement and
Yeah,
elimination games are going to be
right. So it's
BO3s.
going to be real tough for them to get through those BO3s with a map pool where they don't really like train, but they'll play it, and they ban Nuke and Vertigo. Like that's going to be really hard for them to get through the BO3s with a map pool like that. Okay, next team. INTZ. Now I know there's a lot of people that have them as their O3. I know not very many people think they're going to go through, and it's hard to argue with that because on paper compared to some of the other teams, it's hard to pick them to go through. But I think, especially with the rumors circling around that KNG is going to MIBR after the major, and there's all the drama surrounding there. Some places saying that like some places reporting that he's already like signed, like it's already like a done deal. If that is the case, I think that weirdly is actually going to help them more than it's going to hurt them because that means that their team is going to be playing with nothing to lose for I think all of these players. It's their first major, and I know what that's like with the passion that you go into it with. Like you put in so much work beforehand because it's your first one, and you're like excited and you're proud, and there's you feel so many emotions. And if you know that your team is gonna be like sort of changing after the fact anyways, then you might just play with no fear and with nothing to lose.
Yeah, I can see that. It's always the fear in a tournament, in a major tournament, when a team is labeled as dead. You don't know how they're going to play. NRG when Daps was gone, Daps played some of the best Counter-Strike that he played in a long time. So there's definitely that possibility. At the latest ESL Pro League relegation between the MDL teams and the Pro League teams, INTZ kind of showed up at first. They beat Envy in a BO3, and KNG did really well. Also, Zand and Cello showed up as well. But Destiny in the relegation tournament it was like the pre-relegation and the relegation tournament, he was doing terribly. Him and Yell have been really underperforming, so it's going to be hard for me to see them coming out of this. But like you said, I mean, with the freedom that they might play with, they might have this new style or something, or maybe they just are all going to play like individuals, and maybe Destiny's going to show up a little bit more. Maybe Yell's going to show up a little bit more. When an IGL does well, that's when a team has upset potential. So KNG, we know he's going to be firing, but maybe Destiny and Yell can overperform.
Yeah, I think so too. And Cello, like you were saying, he's a huge X factor in that team. He can be so good. Like he's absolutely insane. And Zand has been solid. So yeah, like you said, if Yell steps up, and people who know me know I got love for my boy Gustavo. Yell, if he steps up here, I think they have a lot of upset potential actually, especially with the KNG factor. I think he's a really really good player. It's too bad he can't sort out the out of the server stuff, but he's an incredible player, and I think especially in that first round, I actually have them beating North in that BO1 in the first game because North are notorious slow starters, and I think INTZ is going to come in all guns firing, and I think that they're actually going to upset in those BO1s, especially that first one. I don't know if they're going to make it through or not. I think they have a chance, but I definitely think that they have a ton of upset potential. All right, so next and the last team, Dream Eaters.
Yeah, so this is a team I was interested in. I was looking over the CIS minor, and this team upset Spirit, and Spirit was probably one of the favorites going into the minor for in the CIS region. And to beat Spirit is no light task. They have some of the best talent outside of, I guess, Navi and maybe Hellraisers it is in the CIS scene. Players like Idis Balance are just super strong, and I'm really surprised Spirit didn't make it to this major. And the fact that Dream Eaters beat them 2-0 when it counted the most is just a huge victory for them going into this. They did have to play themselves out of the third place qualifier, or the third place from all the minors, but I'm just really interested, like the way they play Train, it's so fast, they play with such tempo. These players just don't seem afraid of any fights. If they come with the same fearlessness that they did in the CIS minor, I can expect them to have a couple BO1 victories over teams that they had no business beating. So I'm just really interested to watch them. It's hard to say whether I think they're really going to make it out, though.
Yeah, I'm just looking at their map pool over the last 3 months, and Nuke is their permaban. They've played at Vertigo twice, won it once, lost it once, and they don't seem to have a home map besides Train. Like you said, Train seems to be far and away their best map. Everything else is right around the 50% mark. So that goes to show, just like you were saying, a team that's maybe a little bit inconsistent, but can win on all the maps. So if depending on how the veto goes, how their preparation is, what they're feeling comfortable on, and you never know in these BO1s we've seen crazy things. Teams sometimes let the other team's best map become the map they're playing on in these BO1s because I don't know what happens, but vetoes are crazy sometimes in these
Yeah, I
tournaments.
don't know I have no idea what's going on with vetoes sometimes. NRG have been, I don't know, they've messed up their vetoes before at times that just felt completely wrong and just it seems their best map is Train also. If they and Dream Eaters play on Train, I don't know who wins that. And that's
Yeah.
crazy to me, given that Energy is one of the biggest favorites going into this to make it out. Dream Eaters, it's I don't. I mean, I've heard that in Russia or the CIS region, Train is like their Mirage. It's like it's their Dust
Mm,
2. It's what they pug the most. It's what they play the most. It's what they
okay.
basically grew up playing. And I mean, if you have that level of comfort, you can kind of sometimes beat any team at any on any given day.
Oh yeah, especially if you have the skill that these CIS teams have, because these CIS teams do have a ton of firepower.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, this has been Davey and Mauisnake from Peeker's Advantage, giving you a little breakdown of 4 teams we think you should watch going into this Challenger stage. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, do all the stuff. Tons more content coming your way. Podcast coming back soon, I promise. And see you guys next time. Thanks.